Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to the extended for What Are Your Dreams Trying to Tell You? So if you came from TikTok, hello again. If you're coming from YouTube, welcome. This is for my pile ones. For the people that are just coming from YouTube, these are the two pile options. We have weather/natural events for pile 1, and we have celebration/social occasions for pile 2. Okay, so if you've been dreaming about either one of these things, or just look at the pictures, and if one of them is like kind of calling out to you, because maybe you don't remember your dreams or anything like that, so you don't really have anything to go off of, that's totally fine. Or the feelings, the weather/natural events is talking about what's urgent in your life, what's making you feel overwhelmed and out of your control. Are you worried about how to survive a major change? So if that resonates with you, then this pile is probably for you. And for the celebration/social occasions, this is talking about, like, are you concerned about commitment? Are you scared of like social situations? Would you like to break free from the repressed you? Okay, so that is the second pile, and just, you can just click it. I'm gonna have the timestamps below. Okay, but if you need to pause to figure out which pile you need, go on and do that. If not, we're gonna get started with pile 1. So for those of you that weren't here for TikTok, just a quick reiteration. We have imagination, health, and relationships. I originally took imagination reversed because it came reversed, but we don't really need to do it reverse. So but I was basically just saying, right now, like, are you not being imaginative enough? Like, are there things that you want to change in your life, but you're not necessarily thinking about how to change them or what you want to change? Because at the end of the day, when you are trying to manifest something or bring something into your life, whatever, you need to think about it prior. Like, thoughts are very important. You need to have some kind of idea of what you want to bring in so that you can figure out how to plan to actually achieve that. And with health and relationships, I was just saying that, are you in healthy relationships, whether it's platonic, whether it's familial, whatever, just the people around you. Like, do you feel like your relationships are healthy, or are they like kind of stunting your growth a little bit, because maybe they're the kind of people that don't really use their imagination very much, and like maybe they like make fun of you and like call you delusional or whatever, like that's like a thing now. And it's like, no, you're not delusional. You just like have goals and ideas and thoughts. So that's kind of just like what we were talking about, but we're gonna get some more here. So for my pile ones, what are their dreams trying to tell them? So this is the Dream Oracle. What are their dreams trying to tell them? Thank you. Okay, we have Awakening. Your consciousness is awakening. You are becoming attuned to the message of the spirit and nature. Trust your psychic abilities. Ooh, okay. And with imagination, I think that's really interesting. I think I'm gonna read. Sorry, I have to move this. I actually think I'm gonna read what imagination says in the book, because it does resonate with this card, Awakening. So it says, by its very nature, the physical body is limited by the 3 dimensions, but your mind is free to travel without boundaries and merge with the cosmic consciousness. Your mind is the great creator, and your imagination is its toolbox. Everything in life begins with the energy of imagination. Thoughts are real, and they can manifest themselves into the physical world. Train your mind to only have positive thoughts, and you will attract positivity into your life. If you can see it, you can be it. Visualize the components that you want in your life and imbue those thoughts with love, and they will become your reality. Conversely, if your mind strays to negative thoughts, you will only bring that energy to you. Be positive and loving. Imagination is creativity. Express yourself and let your imagination assist you in letting go of any creative blocks and allow your dreams to come true. Remember, you are not doing this for other people. It is your soul opening up and singing its own unique song. So, you definitely have a lot about spiritual, like, change and your consciousness. So maybe your dreams have been a little more vivid lately. And if they are, your third eye is probably opening, and or you're just like really tapped into it right now. Maybe it was already open, but if you feel like it wasn't open before, like it might be more open if you're seeing like your dreams more clearly and things like that. And if you have just been like kind of daydreaming and stuff more often, like that also is your third eye, because anything realistically that is like you seeing in your mind's eye, like it's not you're getting like different creative ideas and you're daydreaming about things that you want and yada yada, like that kind of thing all has to do with your third eye and like your solar chakra, your solar plexus chakra. I think it's the manipura. So maybe also look up like different yoga techniques to help open the solar plexus chakra, because that might be helpful for you at this time. But yeah, you have a lot about opening up your consciousness, okay? And maybe you're like scared to open up, and maybe that's why weather/natural events came out, because once again, that's talking a lot about worrying about your like a major change. And obviously like having a change within your mind is a big change, okay? And especially if you're trying to make change in your reality and you feel like you have to start from your mind, like that's a big change. So maybe you're a little nervous about that, but I feel like this is like your dreams are telling you like you don't need to be worried about it because number one, you're good at it. So whatever you come up with that you want to do, like you'll figure it out and like it'll come to you, kind of thing, you know? Okay, let's pull some of these clarifying life situation cards. I actually just got this deck. And we'll see maybe if your dreams are trying to clarify any situations that you have going on right now. Okay, we have scales of balance. It says seek equilibrium in love and career, harmonizing your inner scale to weigh decisions with both heart and mind. Okay, interesting. So I feel like that's interesting with like health and relationships, because like I said before, like, you know, are there people in your life that you don't have like the healthiest relationship with? And if this is talking about harmonizing love and career and like making certain decisions, like obviously when you use your mind and your imagination to begin the process of manifesting something or shifting your reality, whatever the case may be, you have to also be logical. Like, yes, you can be delusional, but you have to be logical at the same time, because you can't be wishing for a new car, but you don't make any money. Like, you don't make like enough money to buy a car. And then, you know, maybe like you're doing literally just like nothing to actually achieve that goal, which would be saving, maybe opening up a credit card so that like you can have good credit and then they'll like give you like a better loan or something like that. I don't know how car buying works, but that's just an example. But you know, so it's like, okay, yeah, you have this idea of, oh, I want a new car. That's fine. And that's great that like you're using your imagination and you know what you want and yada yada. But at the same time, you still need to have a healthy boundary of, okay, how am I going to create that? How am I going to get that like physically in this 3D world? Unfortunately, everything has to do with money and or whatever the case may be. And that's, you know, it just is what it is. So like, how are you going to combine those two? How are you going to balance them to actually get what you want? Okay. It's one thing to just dream, and it's another thing to actually like put it into action, you know? Ooh. Wow, that flew right out. Okay, let's see what this one says. Okay, and then you got seek clarity, embrace honesty, face consequences, and sharpen your focus for personal growth. Interesting. I mean, I feel like this is also just saying like continue to pay attention to your dreams. If you happen to like read tarot or do some kind of divination, definitely like do readings about your dreams, because you'll probably get even more information than what I'm giving you here, and it might help you get clarity for something. I think that this is also just reiterating the balance here, because at the end of the day, it's like for you to have growth, you know, you need to acknowledge that you want to grow and that you need to grow, you know? And like I said before, with the natural events, are you trying to avoid change? You know, because it's like, you can try to avoid it all you want, but it's gonna have to happen at some point. So at least do it on your own terms, you know? And maybe you just need the clarity. Like, maybe you haven't even figured out what it is that you're trying to bring into your life and things like that. And so this awakening is just like odd. You have a lot of water here, so you might have been dreaming a lot about water. And water is all about your subconscious. So like, if you start drowning or something in a dream, like, that's like your emotions are just running high and you're overwhelmed and things like that. If the water is very calm and still, you probably are like in a very peaceful, tranquil time of your life and things like that. So just like pay attention to stuff like that. If you don't do any divination, you can always just type in Google or something like, what does this mean, like in a dream and stuff like that, and you can also get messages from there. Okay. All right, we did the souls. Let's just get some tarot cards. Just to clarify. Wow. Ugh. I keep dropping them. Okay. Oh, you got the sun. I love that. Okay. Let's see what else. I mean, with the sun, that's a very good sign. I mean, if you're feeling like you're in this here with the natural events and like you're just feeling confused and your imagination is just like, you're not about it right now. I don't really even know how to describe it right now. Like, I just have this feeling of like, oh, you just don't want to do it. But with the sun here, I mean, it's saying like, if you really put your mind to it, like, you can have what you want. But it is going to take you finding clarity. And it is going to take you also like opening up your emotions. Because if you're going to change, like I said, like, you're going to have to change a bit of your mindset as well. But you can have the sun. I think that there's definitely a lot here still about you being nervous and like not really wanting to bring in change, but your psychic abilities, babe, they're talking to you and you're gonna have to listen at some point. You're gonna have to listen at some point. Any other clarifying cards for my pile ones about what their dreams are trying to tell them? Thank you. Okay, and then we have the King of Wands. You have a lot of the same colors. You have a lot of yellow / orange. So solar plexus, like I said. I don't know what the other chakra is called. The orange one. And then you also have a lot of purple and like blues, which is the third eye, crown chakra, which is definitely talking about your consciousness awakening and things like that. So, ooh, interesting. Like I said, try some yoga for those particular chakras. But we have the King of Wands. Okay, you need to tap in to your power. I feel like your imagination is there, but you just don't do anything about it. Like, maybe you think that you're delusional. We talked about delusion before. Maybe you think that you actually are delusional because you're just around other people that don't really have a sense of imagination or like, I don't know, bettering themselves and like thinking about things that you want, like that they want and things like that. And it causes you to think that like you cannot achieve whatever you want. But that's not the case, babe. That's not the case. The King of Wands, he wins. Okay? And on top of that, he uses the things that he learns from his past to help him move forward. And I feel like your dreams are trying to get you to understand that things don't just happen to you for no reason. You're supposed to take those lessons and use them to create something better for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're having a lot of dreams about the past, I just heard. That's probably because there's something in there. There's something in the past that like you haven't figured out yet. Like you haven't like fully grasped the lesson for you to be able to move forward. All right, let's just get, this is the, let's just get some messages from the spirit. If they have anything to say about your dreams lately and what they're trying to tell you. For my pile ones that will see this. Damn, I am shuffling. Maybe you don't have any cards in here. All right, let's just give it a couple more. Okay, thank you. Fire, intensity. See, you have a lot of orange. Definitely do some solar plexus chakra work. Because I feel like it's gonna help you at this time. The things that are calling you, the things that make you feel good, follow them. Like, I feel like you have this intensity to yourself and like you don't want to embrace it. You don't want to like bring it out for some reason. Maybe you don't like showing your emotions, whether to the outside world or to the people around you, whatever. But like, I don't know, your dreams are like, you need to do that because it'll help bring in the things that you want. And maybe your psychic abilities are intense, so like they kind of scare you. But they're yours. So there's really nothing you can do about it, honestly. Is it a little scary? Probably, yes. But they're yours. So, and they're here to help you. Let's see if there's any other cards in here. I mean, your pile is basically just like, maybe the health relationships are also, I mean, one, it could be physically just like paying attention to your health, but also maybe it's talking about getting a better relationship with yourself. And that's gonna require honesty. It's gonna require you to deal with the consequences of the things that you do, or don't do as well, you know? Because if you are like, oh, I want to have a car, but then you proceed to like not pick up extra shifts at work or save money, and you keep going shopping and whatever, you just keep making it harder on yourself, then it's like, okay, well, the consequence of you wanting a car and then not doing anything to get a car is you not having a car, you know? And like, maybe you kind of just need that push of like, yeah, that's just what happens kind of thing. Because once again, I don't know, you seem to have this like kind of fear of change a bit. But you have to think about it. Is the fear of change worse than the fear of not moving, of not changing, of having nothing that you want, of staying the same? Because the intensity is there. Like, you want to do something. And fire is very action-oriented energy, just like the King of Wands here. Like, King of Wands is fire. So, and you have the sun. Like, so much fire energy. It's literally water on this side to me, and then fire over here. That's crazy. And we were talking about harmony and balance, like fire and water. I feel like they're opposites. So, find the balance, my friend. Find the balance. And if you need to use your psychic abilities, then do so. But at the end of the day, your dreams are trying to get you to understand that balance and to like tap into your emotions a bit so that you actually use your imagination. I don't know about you, but to me, like, dreams are I find them so interesting that we can experience consciousness in a very different way, and it's just inspiring to me. So like, but if you feel like that also inspires you, and like your dreams have been like just a lot lately, and you're feeling like, wow, I don't know, it's like opening up your imagination in some way, then allow it, do creative endeavors and dream up the life that you want, because you can absolutely have it. And I think your dreams are trying to remind you of that. We love to see it. Okay, that's what I have for you today, my pal ones. If you enjoyed this reading, leave a holler in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on TikTok if you want some more readings. I usually start my readings on there, so that's why I'm saying that. But if you're not on TikTok, that's no problem too. And I'll see you in the next reading, and I hope you have a blessed day. Bye. Hello, my pile twos. Welcome to your reading. We are seeing what it is that your dreams have been trying to tell you. Hold on, let me just adjust here. Sorry. Okay, so if you are coming from TikTok, welcome back. If you're coming from YouTube, hello. What we talked about on TikTok, you already should have chosen your pile. We have the celebration/social occasions here. So maybe you've been dreaming a lot about other people. You're not very isolated, or it doesn't have to just be your dreams. It could also be like just in your life right now. Confetti could have been something that made you, is that confetti? I think so. That made you be like, oh, I want to choose this pile. But if you chose this pile, we're here. What I talked about on TikTok was that your dreams are trying to get you to grow, to realize that you can be free in whatever way that means for you. Maybe there is something that you have felt guilty about, and it could be guilt that is subconscious guilt as well. But if there is something that you feel guilty about, or you just like reminisce a lot and you just don't feel good about it, your dreams are trying to get you to release that. Like, hey, it's okay, it happened, it is what it is, accept it and move forward, because that will free you from the shackles. Okay, you got the shackles of guilt on right now, and your dreams are trying to get you to get out of them. So now I'm just gonna pull some dream oracle cards to get some deeper information. Thank you. We have wisdom. Experience and failure lead to wisdom. Apply wisdom to a present situation. Learn from the spirit world and its collective knowledge. Wow, love that. Okay, so with growth, it says I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. And then with wisdom, I feel like that really goes well together, especially because it's talking about tapping into the collective knowledge, and especially with guilt, and like I said, like trying to free yourself. Things that happen in the past, or things that have happened to you, whatever, something that is that you might consider a failure is not a failure. Things happen to us so that we can learn and grow from them, and they're going to keep happening until you learn and grow from them. And I feel like your dreams are trying to get you to learn and grow from that situation, and you might be in one right now where you might be feeling guilty. but that guilt is shackling you in some kind of way. So like it says, apply wisdom to this present situation, if it is a present situation for you. So try to, I'm not going to know what it is, obviously it's going to be different for all y'all, so it's a collective reading. But definitely try to figure out what the situation is, and or like the recurring situation, so that you can learn and grow from it and be free from those negative feelings that you have about it. Okay, and we're gonna pull some clarifying life situations, because maybe this will help you clarify, and even me, like doing this reading, what it is that your dreams are even talking about, like the situation itself. Let's just get one more. I feel like that one wants to come out. Okay. We have eclipse of concealment. And then we have divine timing. So eclipse of concealment. Navigate through the eclipse of concealment, understanding the cyclical nature, oh my God, of hidden phases and awaiting revelations. Was I not just talking about maybe there's situations that keep recurring? Because until you learn them, you're going to keep doing them. That's crazy. I mean, it's not crazy. This is how I feel every time I read tarot. I'm like, oh my God. And then divine timing. Be patient. For some things, be patient. For some things, take time to manifest fully in your life. There might actually be a situation where you feel like you're failing, but you're not. Like, you just have to give it more time. And maybe you have a problem with giving things time. Like, maybe you're the type of person that, like, if you don't get it right the first time, you like never try again for things. And like, your dreams are trying to get you to be like, yo, let's take a minute and try it for a little longer, because then you can actually wait and see results. For example, I didn't go to the gym for years, okay? And then when I did go, I would go for like 2 weeks, and then I would be like, I'm not seeing anything, and then I would never go back. And I kept recurringly doing that. Every few months, I would go for a couple weeks, and then I would be like, I'm not seeing any results, and then I wouldn't go back. And then me and my best friend started going to Orange Theory back in January. We're now in the end of May. So we're about to hit 6 months. And I am seeing such a difference in my body and how I feel as well. Like, I'm stronger. I can literally bring in groceries. Like, I did not realize how weak I was. And this is the first time in a long time that I've been genuinely consistent with something. And on top of the consistency, I started out with going once a week for a month, and then we moved up to 2 times a week, 3 times a week, and now we do 4 times a week. And like, I'm gonna stay at 4. But the point is that it took months for me to get here, and I feel so much better. And if you told me back in January that I would be working out 4 times a week and doing hard ass things, I would be like, I would laugh in your face, because I would be like, absolutely not. Like, I can't do that. But here I am, you know, and the time flew by. That's the other thing. Like, so it's just like, all I needed to do was actually be consistent. I have a terrible, terrible, terrible habit of not being consistent. I do everything for 1 month and then I stop. Like, language learning, even like with my channel, like, I'm just like not consistent. I'm really, really trying this month to be consistent so that I can keep going, because I'm realizing, consistency is indeed key. They were not lying. You know, so that's just an example. Maybe you are in the same predicament where like you also don't give things time, but it's, like I said, it's gonna be different for all of y'all. But try and think of like those things, or that one situation that like you tend to always do repeatedly, and see, maybe your dreams are trying to be like, hey, that's the thing that you need to focus. You need to do it differently if you want to be free, if you want to like expand yourself, you know. for me to go to I used to go to the gym myself, and then we decided we were going to try to take a class because she had never done, she wasn't like a gym person. And then like I used to go to the gym because I used to play sports, and so I was used to lifting and whatever. But I don't know, I just don't like the gym anymore. And I love the classes. And I was nervous because I was like, I don't think I'm a class person. Like, somebody's going to be yelling at us, and there's going to be a lot of different people and blah, blah, blah. But I absolutely love it. The people that go there are like super encouraging. I mean, I'm not super chatty, but you know, like whatever. And I love the coaches, and I love like going there. Like I want to go all the time, you know? But it took me expanding to actually figure that out, okay? So maybe now your subconscious is trying to get you to expand, and it's going to take you doing something new, trying something new to be able to grow, to be able to have that freedom that you want, okay? Because I feel liberated. Like, I wear whatever clothes I want. I feel much more confident in my body and things like that. And like I said, like I feel like I feel better as well. So I freed myself, you know? So I feel like that is the energy that's coming through your dreams. Let's pull some tarot. Ooh. To clarify. Okay. I didn't want to take all these, but I'm not gonna take them. Hold on, y'all. I gotta shuffle because these cards are relatively new. Shout out to Saba. She gave me these for Christmas. This is the anime tarot, if you're wondering. But, all right. See, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, we have Page of Pentacles. And then we have the Devil. Okay. The Page of Pentacles likes to sit and wait. And in this particular deck, he looks like I don't know what's in the briefcase, but I would assume that it's like more coins or something like that. It's like he has a lot of something, or maybe he just is starting out as a businessman and he just got his first coin, and now he's kind of just like admiring it, and he's like, oh my god, what am I gonna do to like keep this going? But like he's not necessarily like putting those thoughts into action. Dad, I didn't thicken the sauce. Just FYI. But yeah, I'm so sorry. But yeah, it's like he just got his first coin, and now he's kind of like, oh my god, this is great. What am I gonna do? Like, how am I gonna keep that going? And instead of him actually like putting his thoughts and ideas into action, he's kind of just like sitting there like staring at it and admiring it. And if you can see, there's like roses around him, and these are like still closed, and it looks like they're gonna open, but around him there's like paper or something, which is weird. I don't really know what that is, but I don't know. To me, it represents like he has the opportunity to grow, and he can kind of see what, oh my god, that is so loud. I hope you can hear. And he can kind of see like what it is that he would get if he expanded himself. But it's like he just has a taste, and he's not actually like in it yet. And I feel like that is you right now. And your dreams are trying to get you to be like, hey, you have an idea. You're almost there, but you have to like apply it, and apply it for a long enough time that it actually shows up in your reality. Things take time, unfortunately. Things don't just manifest here in a second. Like, this is not the 5D or whatever the hell. I don't know. And then with the Devil, that is just a reminder, like, you can be free, but it's up to you, you know? Because at the end of the day, usually the Devil card, let's see this one. Like I said, this deck is new, so I have to look. But so the Devil has like his own big chains, but if you look closer, their chains are only attached to themselves. So it's kind of like, it makes you think that the devil is trapping them, but really it's like themselves. And to me, this is representing like your masculine and feminine, so like yourself, and they're naked, which also represents like vulnerability, talking about like your inner whatever's desires, soul, like whatever you want to call. So it's like you are quite literally holding yourself back. But like I said, with the freedom card, you have the opportunity to be free. You just need to like get out of that recurring cycle, whatever that cycle is. And then not only do you need to find the cyclical thing that keeps happening that you're just not learning, but you also need to figure out how to move out of it and then give it time. But I feel like it's easier than you think to figure it out because you have the wisdom. Especially if you expand your consciousness and awareness. And by that, I mean like just paying attention to the signs and even just acknowledging what the cyclical cycle is. I feel like once you realize what it is, that automatically is like half the problem. What's that saying? That's like, if you have an issue, like acknowledging what the issue is half the problem. Like you're already halfway done. Now you just have to figure out what to do about it. Like I feel like that's perfect for you right now. Like you have the wisdom, you understand, like you can understand it. And is this a dragonfly or a butterfly? There's a dragonfly on her too, which I feel like maybe look up what a dragonfly in a dream means. That might be significant to you. Even roses, there might be a message in there for you. Okay, let's just see what the messages of the nature spirit have to say about your dreams. We have island, detachment. I don't know where to put this. Okay, let's do... Sorry, y'all. If you watch my videos, I like it to be nice and pretty. Okay. So we have detachment. Maybe the cyclical thing that you always find yourself in has to do with detaching yourself. Like maybe you tend to pull... Oh, what did I say before? You seem like maybe you're the type of person that instead of just like consistently trying something for a certain amount of time, like an actual decent amount of time to see how it manifests, you kind of like pull back before you even really give it a chance to like settle and show up in your reality. So maybe you detach from things really easily. Maybe that's what your cyclical nature is, that your dreams are trying to get you to fix. Like I said, it's going to be different for all of y'all. So definitely just like try to pay attention to your dreams. If you're the type of person that doesn't remember your dreams normally, also like when you go to sleep, just say like you're going to remember your dreams. That's what I do. And it works like every time. I know it sounds ridiculous, but if you actually tell your brain that you, like if you show your brain that you care about the dreams, your brain will remember them. And I'm not just making that up. I like read a bunch of dream books, and that is like an actual thing. And like I said, I can attest to it because I literally do it all the time. Especially as you're falling asleep, that's like the best time because your subconscious starts to take over, and so you're a bit more open. And try to like write your dreams down as well, because you might not know what the cyclical thing is, but it might show up in your dreams. And if you can figure it out, whether it's through divination or it's through looking up, different things in your dreams. And don't just look up like, oh, I had a dream about a bird. Like, look up like how, like, think about how you felt during the dream. Think about if there was people there, like, what did you guys talk about? Think about where you were. Like, the entire dream is important, okay? Sometimes it seems very random, but I feel like it's usually never random. There's usually a reason why. But yeah, let's get one more. This is like your message was like very clear. Anything else for my pile of twos? That's too many. I did see dolphin though. It said listening. So once again, maybe listen to your dreams. Listen to yourself. You have the wisdom within you already. It's just a matter of you actually like using it. Oh my god. It's so crazy that this came out because this was the back of the deck. Like when I pulled this one, when I pulled out Island, I looked at the back and this was there. And I was like, that's funny. It's mountain. And then the island had a mountain on it. So like, I was just like, oh, like the same vibe. Interesting. So this says intention. Let's just read the, let's read what they say. That'll be the last thing. Okay. Islands are landmass. Okay, let's just read the message. You're feeling distant and removed from others. You know what's so funny? You got detachment, but your card of choice was celebrations/social occasions. And what does it say at the bottom? Are you concerned about commitment? Do you have fears about social situations? Would you like to break free from the repressed you? Oh my goodness. I didn't even peep that. Freedom, growth, breaking free from the repressed you, which is where the guilt comes in. What are you repressing yourself for? There's something that you repress yourself in some kind of way. Interesting. Okay, let's continue. But yeah, it's funny that you got detachment when your card is literally talking about like, do you get nervous in social situations? Perhaps childhood experiences have taught you to remain aloof as a form of protection. By keeping your distance from others, you find some comfort in that there are few demands for you to meet, and you have the freedom to do whatever you want. Interesting. Now, however, remaining withdrawn from your community has begun to feel like being stranded on a desert island. This self-isolation and sense of disconnection have gone on for a while. Some family and friends have progressively made less of an effort to contact you or stop contacting you altogether. You've convinced yourself that you don't really need your relationships with people or even spirit. Aside from the benefits of going it alone, there's a deep hunger for connection. You try to satisfy that craving by filling the time with compulsive activities and obsessive and addictive preoccupations. It's time now to reach out to others, to be honest with yourself about your need for contact with family and friends. Renew those attachments despite any reservations. Recognize that your addictions and worldly occupations are not filling the void that can only be satiated by renewing and reactivating your connection to others and with spirit. Interesting. So maybe the guilt is coming from you detaching yourself from others. And while I was reading that, my leg was numb. And as soon as I finished reading it, it's no longer numb, which is weird. So maybe you feel numb. Like maybe you try to make yourself feel numb emotionally so that you don't have to deal with like other people for some kind of reason, whatever that reason may be. But maybe that's where the guilt comes in, because like maybe deep down like you're kind of the reason why you don't talk to a lot of people, if that's something that you do. Or maybe you just realize or maybe you're just feeling guilt because you realize that you are the reason why whatever your situation might be, because like I said, it's gonna be different for everybody, but whatever that situation might be, like you're starting to realize like, oh my god, that's because of me. It's not because of the outside world. It's not because the universe hates me. It's not because God's hate me. Oh my god, it's not because God hates me or people don't like me or whatever. It's because of me, so like maybe like that's where the guilt is coming, and then you feel like you can't really free yourself from it, or you just don't want to acknowledge that it's you. So you can't get out of the cycle if you don't know, like if you don't acknowledge like where the issue is coming from. Like I said, that's half the problem. So, very interesting. Let's see what Mountain says, and then we're good. You set a certain goal, and it's clear to you that it's a calling prompted by spirit and aligned with your soul's purpose. Several signs confirm that this is the right direction for you, yet there is hesitancy. Although you know the objective is important, its pursuit has aroused fear and anxiety centered around the possibility of failure. You've even attempted to rationalize giving up, but your inner voice persists in reminding you how important it is to make a sincere attempt to reach your goal. So once again, it's talking about having a real attempt. Okay? Meaning that if you're going to try something new, if you're going to get out of this cycle, and it's funny that this is eclipse of concealment, because conceal means to like cover, to hide. And with the detachment, that's talking about like concealing yourself from others. I don't remember what I was going to say, so let's just keep going. Oh, but yeah, this is talking about importance of actually trying to reach the goal. Once again, the Page of Pentacles, it's like he's looking at his pentacle and he's like, I want more of that, but he's not really doing anything to actually get there, you know? And that is the thing that keeps him shackled. Oh, that's so crazy. We love it. Okay, it's been said that it's not the destination, but the journey that counts. And it's never been truer than in this situation you're inquiring about. Keep your eyes, ears, and especially your heart on this goal and your intention to reach it. Dismiss the voice of the ego when it tells you it's not a big deal and really not worth the hassle. Remember that the ego's job is to keep you safe, and dismiss those thoughts. Keep your focus on the goal while at the same time honoring your intention to appreciate every moment in the journey. When doubts and hesitation creep in, remind yourself that it's spirit that has called to you and supports you fulfilling your soul's purpose. Oh, wow. That's so beautiful. So I feel like in this case, the devil is your ego. Like literally. I mean, that's usually what it is, but still, just if you didn't know, like that's your ego. So if you feel like you keep wanting to do something that will help you grow, and then you keep pulling back, remember that that desire to pull back is just your ego. It's not actually your soul. The ego works on you staying safe because it has a fear of newness. If you've ever read, there's a book that I'm reading by Eckhart Tolle. It's called The Power of Now, and he talks about the ego and why the ego tries to keep you locked down. And it's so life-changing, honestly. Like, I look at myself and like reality very different. It's a really great read. It's not something that you can just like read in a day. But it's a really, really, really great read. And normally when it comes to nonfiction, like, I don't want to call it a self-help book, but those kind of books, to me, most of the time people are just rambling. But the way that he writes, he explains what he's talking about, and then he offers questions. So it's like kind of like you rebutting him, like being like, okay, well, what is the ego? Like, I don't understand that. And then he'll answer the question. And it's so helpful, because I'll read it and then I'll have questions, and then he literally shows the question and then he answers it. So it's like very, very, like, I actually learn from that book. And I feel like that would help you, especially with like this situation, and like with understanding your ego and how the ego works. It might help you with actually like moving out of that so that you can be free. So I'll put the full name in the description. But yeah, that's what I have for you today. I hope that you got something out of this. If you did, leave a comment, like, subscribe, do what you want. Follow me on TikTok. That's where usually the readings start. If not, that's okay too. I'll see you at the next reading, and I hope that you enjoy your day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.